Welcome back, it's me, Lou, and I'm here for another action figure review, and we are looking at this, the Marvel Legends Loki. So, this depicts Loki as seen in the upcoming Disney Plus television show, and I'm kind of torn on this figure. I'm really excited about the show. I love Tom Hiddleston as Loki. He's actually one of my favorite characters from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm a big fan of a villain, especially a complicated villain with a lot of depth to him. And that's, Loki kind of fits that bill. He's very layered, he's charming, good looking, and he's clever, and he's kind of badass. And I'm excited about the show, but I'm not too excited about this figure. This figure is very blah. Judging from the trailers, this is what he looks like on the television show, but with some of the Loki figures I've reviewed previously, this one's kind of like, I'm not sure. I know I need this. I mean, you don't really need any figure, but I kind of needed this, kind of wanted it, but at the same time, it's like, he's just so plain looking. And I don't know, I'm sure down the road they'll give us more exciting versions of this character. I remember seeing in the trailers, there's one version of this version of Loki, but I think he's wearing a different colored suit, but he has his horns, and that looks really cool. But enough about that, let's get to the figure. So, right off the bat, this comes in our usual Marvel Legends packaging. We're used to this by now. And on top, it has his logo. On the bottom, you have the television logo, Loki, and the Disney Plus logo, Marvel Studios. Some nice character artwork on the side. And then he's wearing his TVA belt buckle. Beautiful portrait, and let's see the description. Loki. Mere moments after his escape during the events of Avengers Endgame, Loki is apprehended by the Time Variance Authority, the TVA, and arrested for his crimes against the sacred timeline. Cool, cool, cool. And looking at the package, we see the rest of his wave mates. So if you buy most of these figures, you need 6 of them, and you can complete the full Falcon, the new Captain America, previously known as Falcon. And I reviewed the Falcon. Yeah, I keep on calling him Falcon. I reviewed the Captain America figure previously, and it's a great figure. It's awesome, but it kind of sucks though, because if you want the wings and the display stand, you need to buy the rest of the set. But that's how they suck us in, and, it's kind of like a gateway drug. You buy one figure, and then you kind of need them all. And they're cool. I've reviewed Captain America, awesome. U.S. Agents, awesome. And we're going to review Loki. I passed up on Vision the other day. I saw him at Target. And then I saw him at Target, and I saw this. And I picked this up because this was the only one they had. And I was kind of looking at the Vision figure. I was kind of eyeballing it. And I hate when this happens. Every time I'm at a store and I run into another collector, for some reason they always need to tell me that they already have that figure that I'm looking at. It's like, what? Am I getting a boner or something? Like, I don't really care. It's like, I don't know if it's a collector thing where it's the need to show off that you're one up on the other collectors. Like, I saw this figure and I'm looking at the Vision. He's like, oh, that's a great figure. I already got that. And I'm like, I don't care. I wasn't talking to you. I just want to collect in peace. I've run into some cool collectors, don't get me wrong, but I've also run into some weird ones, and I don't know. I miss the days when I used to go toy hunting with my buddies, but in this age of COVID and the way things are, it's kind of like I haven't really seen anybody, which sucks. All right, enough about that. Let's talk about Loki. Excuse me. So Loki, he's badass. I love him on the show. This figure, though, it's so blah looking, but I need the character. The show hasn't debuted yet as the filming of this video. I think it debuted. So right now it's June 3rd, and I think the show debuts, next Wednesday. Right, so here's Loki in his plastic tray. Here's a little cool TVA like logo. It's cool. I'll be honest, I don't know much about the TVA. Any of the comic books I've read, they never involve the TVA. I'm mostly a X-Men mutant kind of guy, and I don't know if the TVA falls more into the realms of like the Avengers or Spider-Man or Iron Man or something. So it comes with a display stand. Oh, this is for Red Wing. Alright, take it back. I think it's for Red Wing. Oh no, this is for the Captain America figure. Alright, so once you assemble Cap and you slap on all his wings, you want to make him look like he flies. You know, you build a stand, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's alright. I kind of wish it was a much more clear plastic. The plastic material is kind of foggy. It's kind of like that weird clear white plastic. Like if you get carry out and you get like, I don't know, like soup, it comes in those containers. It's kind of like made of that looking kind of colored plastic. It almost feels like the same material also. And you get Captain America's backpack, and you can plug Red Wing in the back, I think. Oh yeah, you do. There's like a slot here, and then a peg here, and then you can just plug it in. So if you had your Captain America figure, all right, we'll pretend that this is Cap. So if you had the Captain America figure, you throw on a backpack, and then this looks like, gives you the impression that Red Wing's flying off his back, and it's on a ball joint, so he spins around. So it's kind of neat. It kind of reminds me of the Phoenix from Battle of the Planets, or G-Force, or Gotchaman, if you're familiar with that anime. It's cool. I dig it. Now, I'm sure I'm going to lose these pieces, so I'll set them aside. So, main event time. We're taking a look at Loki. Actor Tom Hiddleston in action figure form. And I can't complain about the likeness. It looks like him. Now, the lighting's a little bright on my camera, so some of his facial features might be kind of washed out if I bring it too close. I want to say, I think this is a new sculpt. Oh, I feel gypped now. Okay. One thing you don't want to do is the minute you open up his jacket, you see all this sculpted detail. Like there's all these like straps and holsters, but they're not painted. So I don't know if that's a budget thing, or if, you know, maybe in the show he doesn't have these holsters and they just needed to reuse this body, and they're hoping that the jacket just kind of covers all those details. Like there's a gun holster on one side, and then there's cartridges on the other. So I'm not sure if this is reuse, at least this torso. I don't know if that was used for like Nick Fury, or did they make an Agent Coulson figure? I can't remember. Yeah, it's cool. The head is amazing. Just looking at the sculpting in the hair, it's cool how his hair is kind of like windswept. And they do a beautiful job sculpting the detail. The likeness is spot on. You know, it kind of has that Tom Hiddleston look, especially where he's kind of like, he's Loki, you know, he's up to something, kind of sly. He kind of has those like eyes that he probably gave Taylor Swift when they were dating back in the day. You know, before he introduced her to like his mom, and that probably scared her away. But I love Tom Hiddleston. I think it's Taylor Swift's loss. On the back it says variant, which is funny. I mean, coming from the action figure community, you know, we all know about variants. The sculpting's nice. The sculpting and all the folds are nice and crisp. The colors are, you know, a little bit warm, a little earthy, but, you know, that's how he appears on the show. not a whole lot to say about this. I mean, it's just a guy in a suit. You know, it's not like it's anything cool where they gave him his knives. And if you look at this hand even looks like it's made to grip one of his knives. So it sucks that they should have just given us a pair of knives and his horns instead of giving us, you know, Red Wing and the flight stand. But oh well. Nice detail in his belt. You can't. I'm not sure if they can catch on the camera, but if you look closely, you can see TVA is actually kind of like screened onto his belt buckle. It's not a sculpted detail. It's just kind of like painted onto it. This is a cool figure, but I don't know. It's so plain looking. This looks like a guy that like works in IT, and then he's, you know, your office calls him in because your server crashed, and he has to fix your server. And then you have to tell everyone at work to get off your computer and save your work because they're going to reset the server. And then this guy, like, he'll try flirting with, like, the really cute girls. I love the folds on the bottom of his pants. It looks cool. Now, this, as boring as this figure kind of looks to me, I think it's a great base figure if you want to do something else with it. You know, maybe if you swap this coat off and found another coat, maybe you could, like, I don't know, create, like, casual Peter Parker and swap the head out. It's a great figure. I mean, if I had to rate him numerically, I'd probably give him an 8. But I think I'd give him an 8 just because it looks like what it's supposed to look like. The detail's nice. The sculpting's nice. What kind of hurts it is that these holsters are unpainted. But then again, I don't know if he even has holsters on the show. And the reason why they didn't paint them is just so they could get away with covering them up with the coat. But since we're on the subject of Loki, let's compare him to some other Lokis. And we have a Loki with the horns. And this is Loki from, I believe, Thor Ragnarok. And I think this was part of the Build-A-Figure wave that was the Gladiator Hulk, I think. I like this version of Loki a lot. My favorite version of Loki, I think, still, it might be the, at least with the Marvel Legends line, it might be the Avengers 6-inch Loki that was released as a Walmart exclusive. I kind of want that figure. But I don't think the likeness is as spot on. But I like that costume a lot. This costume's cool, but I hate how his belt is really high-waisted, so he looks like an old man. But he has the horns, he has the cool cape. But I hate this cape because it keeps on wanting to pop out. Because there's these pegs here, and there's sockets in his shoulder. And you move the cape just a little bit, and they just pop out. And I don't want to glue them in. But so if you compare them, they're cool. You know, this is Loki, and then his post-Loki when he gets in trouble and joins the TVA. Now, the figure I wanted to see is I want to see Loki from the TV show, and I think he's in, like, his... he's dressed up, I think, in a suit and coat, but I think he's kind of wearing more so his normal gang colors, the green and the yellow, but he has the horns, so it's like, I wonder if this fits. It kind of fits. It's a little too big. I would suggest head swapping, but this Loki has much longer hair. And since we're on the subject of Loki, we have the Marvel Select Kid Loki. I reviewed this figure recently, and this isn't really a figure. This is kind of more so of an accessory. It comes with a Loki action figure. And Kid Loki, he's awesome. He's from the comic books. I like Kid Loki a lot. He's awesome. This is a cool companion piece to like this any like Asgardian collection. Even though it's not articulated, you know, you can stand this guy next to Big Brother Thor, and it just looks awesome. Or you can have him stand next to Loki. Because if you read the comic books, you know, there's like different versions of Loki kind of floating around. There's like OG, old school Loki. There's Kid Loki. There's a younger Loki. There's a chick Loki that's OG Loki who's pretending to be a girl. And I think he slept with Dr. Doom, I think. And since we're on the subject of comic book Loki, this is probably my favorite Loki figure right now. And this is the Marvel Select Loki. I reviewed this a few videos back. My Disney store got this, and I think it was the time in for release with the new Disney show. And even though this isn't based off the Disney Tom Hiddleston Loki, it's a friggin' awesome figure. This thing is unbelievable. The details amazing. The sculpting's amazing. I've said this before about if you're one of those people that you go back and forth about which is better, Marvel Legends or Marvel Select. A lot of people are gonna say Marvel Legends, but I think it's an unfair comparison because I think the Marvel Select stuff, they feel more like display pieces, whereas Marvel Legends, they do a good job of being a display piece, but at the same time, there's enough playability and posability that if you're a kid, you can play with them. If you're an adult, you can use them for fig photography. Oh, I feel like an idiot now, dude. I forgot that this thing rides up. So I keep on complaining that his waist is too high up, but it just happens to be his skirt just keeps on floating up. But there you go. That looks better. Man, I'm an idiot. Yeah, this is a great figure. If you had to have just one Loki figure in your life, the Marvel Select Loki that comes with these two, oh, it's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I love this figure so much. I just want to get another one, just to keep on card and hang them on the wall next to some of my other Marvel Selects that I haven't opened. This is a great figure. I can't talk good enough things about this figure. It's great. Alright, so we have these guys. They're all exciting to look at. Even the Kid Loki is really cool to look at. And then you have this. This is kind of like IT Loki. It's like, oh, your server's down. Oh, let me go back in the back and reset it. So we have all these different Lokis. If I had to arrange them according to how I'd rank them, this guy's first. This guy's second. This is third. And then this guy is fourth. Even though I kind of think very lowly of them, the figure at least, I do recommend getting them. If you're an MCU collector, and if you're like me, you're going to watch a show and fall in love with the show and go, I need a toy of that. And then you're going to want to go out and buy this. And I'm sure in time they're going to give us multiple figures of Loki from the TV show, portraying his different looks. But for now, this is what we're getting. And for now, this is what I'll have to live with. So, go out there, buy this guy. He's probably, give him a good home. And if you had a Taylor Swift action figure, you could pretend they were dating like they did back in the day. So, once again, my name is Lou. Thanks for stopping by and checking out my video. Feel free to come by anytime, and I hope you have an excellent day. Take care.